How's it going, YouTube? DM Tombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video. And I know it's been a while, guys, but I want to say I'm doing a little bit of a hiatus on making belts right now. Between me and this belt making challenge, between me and Mud Nation's belts, it wasn't being as popular as we thought it would be, so we kind of stopped it. But saying whenever it tries to get big, well, don't worry, guys, I'll be back at it before you know it to be making belts again. So anyway, guys, it's like, first off, maybe I want to show you guys my entire homemade belt collection from the first belt I made. Well, actually, I made that reference in my origin story video. You can check in below, which some of these belts are from that video. And my first belt is not here. Let's just say it's one of my oldest belts I still have. My first belt was destroyed, so I have my oldest belt I recently have to the most recent belt I just made on my last video. So anyway, guys, let's just go to it. And these are all my currently homemade belts. As you can see, that's a lot of them. Some of them I can't stand on their own. Some of them are in between. But you see, guys, I make more homemade belts than I own replicas. There's like 6 more in there, so I say they have about like 11. Here I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. So about close on. It's real close between homemade and replicas. But like, you guys know these belts from my origins video, that from that belt all the way down to this belt is my custom belt that we did, custom belts from our wrestling that we did as kids, and we don't do it anytime. I just hold them as memories now, like the UCW tag belt, and that belt plate is huge. I'm not gonna like talk a lot about these belts because you already know about it. They have their own videos about these belts, so I'm just gonna give you guys a brief explanation about them. My streak belt, when we were doing UCW, the US, our UCW US belt, the version 2 of the UCW Championship, version 1 was destroyed. The UWW / now UCW Heavyweight Championship belt, version 2 of the UCW Streak belt, and version 3 of the UCW Championship belt. And as you can obviously see through the years how I've well adapted to making the belts look better and better every single time. Then we go on to my WWE belts, like my homemade WWE Championship spinner belt, and it's a close resemblance to the replica, which I own now. The United States spinner belt. Obviously, I would have more belts. Technically, I would, instead of these 14, I would actually have about 17, including another United States Championship spinner belt, which I made a comparison of, and the other 2 hardcore belts I made. One was for my buddy Frank, which you see many times on the channel, and the other one, alongside with the other United States spinner, I gave up to my buddy Tyler the Day, who still owns the belts. Hope he enjoys them. But anyway, guys, this is my old version. I may hope about making another version, the better spinner version, anytime soon. Just now, I'm just gonna take a little break on making belts. Tell you guys, when you guys make belts the way I do, it really is a pain in the ass. Pardon my language. My WWF Hardcore title, obviously, for making 3 of them, I changed up. This was the second version I made. The third one, I added a curve to it, and it was given to Tyler the Day. But this one was a good looking belt. I tell you in all, guys, out of all these belts, 4 of them I took to WWE events. 4. The US spinner, the WWE spinner, the European, and the hardcore. And as well, you can totally adapt to newer style belts, like the WWF European belt. the first homemade European belt seen on YouTube. And yet still looks good. My custom YouTube championship belt, I made 2, I almost forgot, actually I would have 18 now, due to the fact that I had another one sent to Kid Behind the Camera, which you've seen me make a reaction video of, with my custom side plates. This is my version 1, the version 2 I gave to Kid Behind the Camera, but still looks the exact same as that one. And the WWE Undisputed belt, which you guys decided on me making, and this is the most recent way I make belts today, with the new mirror tape. You see how it is with the old tape compared to the new tape. Makes it look more reflective. Actually, you could probably see you can see the camera reflecting a little bit in the belt. And as you may, but now with real bolts in the back. So I can see, guys, like from these belts, from the past, from there, there were just thumbtacks. Every single belt from before until here, I used thumbtacks to make it look like bolts. But then I started using actual bolts and screwing the plates onto the leather, so it makes it feel more realistic and more heavier. But now these belts are looking a lot better. And yet, as well, my custom NHL Stanley Cup Championship belt, modeled off the big logo belts with the custom side plates. And yet, a lot of people like this, including my pal, the Big C6, who made a comment below. Man, it's been a while since I heard from you, but man, I mean, I know the fact you've been a big supporter of my channel for a long time, and I know I haven't talked much about many people, but I tell you guys, it's a lot harder when you're busy doing all these belts. And I tell you, you can see my how I changed over the years. You can see, like, most majority of them didn't have bolts or anything, but it was just thumbtacks. Didn't have curves when I tried to do it. Basically mastered the curve when I did that one, and did it every time since. Did it with the bolts on this one, and then did it every time since. Reflected tape every time since. Basically now the belts I do are about as close as you can to looking like the real one, like real belts, without actually being like metal and leather belts. And yet they still look awesome. I think the lights, let's see how the lighting is. Okay guys, well, this is all you get to see here. And yet, guys, like I always say, if you want to see more detail on all these videos, of all these belts, they're on my channel. Just look them all up. And that is it, guys. So that is it for me, guys. I'm just filling in the void right now. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And as well, if you guys are on Twitter, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DMTombstone96. So this is DM Tombstone Belts. I'll see you guys in the next video.